I'm Sharon Betters, and you are listening to the Daily Treasure podcast produced by Mark Inc. Ministries. And I'm so grateful that you have joined us as we continue in our series called The Valley of Tears. Today's devotional is called Something Evil This Way Comes. And today's treasure is from Numbers 16, verses 28 through 30. And Moses said, "Hereby you shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, and that it has not been of my own accord. If these men die, as all men die, or if they are visited by the fate of all mankind, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord creates something new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you shall know that these men have despised the Lord." Korah and his cohorts verbally assaulted Moses and Aaron publicly. Moses responds with a literal line in the sand. He commands Korah, Dathan, Abiram, and the 250 chiefs of the congregation to stand before God the next morning and burn incense, as we read in Numbers 16, verses 16 through 19. And Moses said to Korah, "Be present, you and all your company, before the Lord, you and they and Aaron tomorrow. And let every one of you take his censer and put incense on it. And every one of you bring before the Lord his censer, 250 censers. You also, and Aaron, each his censer." So every man took his censer and put fire in them, and laid incense on them, and stood at the entrance of the tent of meeting with Moses and Aaron. Then Korah assembled all the congregation against them at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord appeared to all the congregation. Something horrible was about to happen, as we read in Numbers 16:21. "And the Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment." Don't miss God's mercy shining throughout this devastating story. Moses and Aaron plead for mercy for those who didn't start this unrest, but were caught up in the mob mentality, as we read in Numbers 16:22. "And they," Moses and Aaron, "fell on their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will you be angry with all the congregation?" The Lord then instructs Moses and Aaron to warn the rest of the congregation to step away from Korah and the rebellious mob. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Say to the congregation, Get away from the dwelling of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spoke to the congregation, saying, "Depart, please, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be swept away with all their sins." So they got away from the dwelling of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents, together with their wives, their sons, and their little ones. Numbers 16:23 through 27. Remember, though Korah and his cohorts assaulted Moses and Aaron, Moses told them their argument was not with Moses and Aaron, but with God. Something terrible is about to happen, and Moses makes it clear he, Moses, is not responsible for the consequences of their rebellion. And Moses said, "Hereby you shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, and that it has not been of my own accord. If these men die, as all men die, or if they are visited by the fate of all mankind, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord creates something new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you shall know that these men have despised the Lord." Numbers 16:28 through 30. And then the ground opened up, and horror reigned. As soon as he had finished speaking all these words, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, with their households and all the people who belonged to Korah and all their goods. So they and all that belonged to them went down alive into Sheol, and the earth closed over them, and they perished from the midst of the assembly. And all Israel who were around them fled at their cry, for they said, "Lest the earth swallow us up." And the fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men offering the incense. Numbers 16, verses 31 through 35. We can only imagine the terror of the survivors, but also their gratitude for God's mercy. The Lord made it clear He will not tolerate rebellion against Him. At first reading, we could conclude the line of Korah's family ended in that horrific moment. But how can that be when we see them leading worship? We find our answer in Numbers 26, a record of the census of the new generation of Israelites. The sons of Eliab, Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Dathan and Abiram, chosen from the congregation, who contended against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah, when they contended against the Lord, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah. When that company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a warning. But the sons of Korah did not die. Maybe they were spared because they were little and did not understand their father's rebellion. Perhaps a neighbor or friend carried them away from their father's house just before the earth opened up. Or maybe they were old enough to recognize their father's rebellion against God, and they wanted no part of it. Whatever the human reason, God's good plan for His people included a precious legacy of service for the line of Korah. Not only would they one day lead His people in worship, but out of Korah's sons, the prophet Samuel was born after 7 generations. These are the men whom David put in charge of the service of song in the house of the Lord after the ark rested there. They ministered with song before the tabernacle of the tent of meeting until Solomon built the house of the Lord in Jerusalem. And they performed their service according to their order. These are the men who served and their sons. Of the sons of the Kohathites, Heman, the singer, the son of Joel, son of Samuel, son of Elkanah, son of Joraham, son of Eliel, son of Toah, son of Zuph, son of Elkanah, son of Mahath, son of Amasai, son of Elkanah, son of Joel, son of Azariah, son of Zephaniah, son of Tahath, son of Aser, son of Ebiasaph, son of Korah, son of Ishar, son of Korah, son of Levi, son of Israel. Tomorrow we will unpack some of the privileges God gave the sons of Korah. But for today, soak in the grace their story tells. The sins of their father did not shape their identity. Instead, God's amazing grace transformed them. Your identity is not shaped by the sins of your parents or even your own sin. If you love Jesus and have experienced the forgiveness of sins only He can give, you are a daughter or son of the King. Like the sons of Korah, you too can experience grace upon grace. And, O Lord, may we recognize your love even in discipline. Thank you for your grace and mercy. Hey friends, I'm Sharon Betters, and we are continuing, as you know, in our series, Valley of Tears, and I pray that for you, the blessings will be as great as they were for me as I dug into this passage and just found so much hope and so much encouragement and so much guidance from the Word of God as we talked about the Valley of Tears. So if God is using this message for you, I pray that you will pass it on, that you'll leave a rating, and that you will help us grow the audience, our family, our Daily Treasure family. I also want to remind you about Anchored Hope Biblical Online Counseling. We know that there are times in our lives where we just can't make it on our own, and even our friends have gone as far as they can. I want to recommend Anchored Hope Biblical Online Counseling. This ministry was started by Mark Inc. in 2020, and it is a dream come true, especially for my husband, Chuck, who had the vision of starting a counseling center many, many years ago. We are so proud of what God is doing through Anchored Hope. We have over 47 counselors right now, and that is going to grow every single month. They are from all over the country. We have counselors who speak multiple languages. Just go to helpandhopenow.org, click the Anchored Hope link where you can browse the website, pick your counselor, make an appointment, and meet with this counselor online in the comfort of your own home. So again, that's Anchored Hope Online Counseling. Go to helpandhopenow.org and click that link where you can learn more. I'm Sharon Betters, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow.